Welcome to Third Coast Sports TV. I'm your host, Wink. Talk sports, love sports, enjoy sports. And today we're going to be discussing the game preview between the Baltimore Ravens and the Houston Texans. We're going to be traveling, the Houston Texans will be traveling to Baltimore, and a critical matchup which will end up deciding not only, I believe, the AFC South, but also who's the best quarterback in the MVP race. I'm going to allow a few people to go ahead and get in here before we go ahead and discuss today's topic, and I see y'all are getting in here pretty swiftly. D. Pritch, what's good? D. Love, what's good? AJ, what's going on? Ray, what's good? Cayman Jones, what's good? Down South Sports, Michael, what's good? No, we just started, literally 45 seconds into the video. M78, what's good? Sherman Hill, what up? As y'all get in here, y'all go ahead, y'all hit that, y'all smash that like button. Like the vid as y'all coming in, absolutely. I know a lot of y'all gonna end up seeing y'all got some wrench action if y'all didn't see it before. A lot of y'all have been mods. I done made a few of y'all mods. Y'all have been around long enough. But we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get into the video. Eric Villa, Art of Dialogue, Dre D, Joshua Grant, what's good? Well, let's go ahead and we're gonna get on into it, man. Baltimore Ravens, man, they get ready to face off against the Houston Texans coming off of bye week. Some moves have been made for the Houston Texans that I didn't speak on. Nobody got to get my opinion. So we just picked up Vernon Hargreaves off of waivers from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And this move is a decent move considering the fact that it's very telling to me. And the way it's telling is letting me know that they're getting ready to move away from Jonathan Joseph finally. I think they know what they have in him. I think the fact that they've seen this guy for many years and his play is starting to dip. He doesn't have the same reaction time. I just believe that bringing in the younger cornerbacks with what he's been able to do since the Kansas City game and the adjustments in playing man coverage, tight man to coverage, it benefits this football team. And I really see, this is what needs to happen. We have the trend in the right direction, and the way for us to do that is for us to get younger and to allow players to take it to the next level. Joseph Lopez, what's good? I just went live, so you don't have to worry about it. Isai Harris, what's good? Why did we let him go? Man, I don't know. At the time, I don't think we could afford him, and plus they were trying to hurt his name by saying he was a soft player mentally. But we all know that's not, that's a lie. Gilbert Rodriguez, what's good? So let's go ahead and discuss this matchup between Deshaun Watson and Lamar Jackson, because I know that's what everybody wants to get into. Now, both of these quarterbacks are doing amazing things for their football team. Us being Houston Texans fans, we know what Deshaun Watson has brought to 2017 since we drafted him. After a half of seeing what he was able to do in the Jacksonville game, and the fact that you had guys like Jalen Ramsey immediately when the game was over to say that it was a mistake for Deshaun Watson not to start in this game, and we've seen him progress from game to game. Not only is he taking his mental portion of the game to an entirely different level, but his accuracy has improved dramatically from year 1 to year 3. Last year, I predicted he would be around the range of 70%. Guess what he was? His touchdowns were probably down a little bit more than what I would have predicted, but overall, I think he still ended up having well over 30 touchdowns when it was all said and done. This year, he's trending and he's looking to throw another 4,000-plus yard season, and he looked like he's well on his way to throwing close to 40 touchdowns. I'm pretty sure in a couple of matchups that we have that are going to be had later on down the line, in some favorable matchups against the Tennessee Titans in both of those games and the Tampa Bay Bucks, where I really see him increasing his stat line before the season is up, so they can determine who will be the MVP when it's all said and done. But he has lifted this team and has done more with less than a lot of these other quarterbacks that are being credited as being MVPs of the league. Now, just a year ago, Lamar Jackson wasn't seen as an MVP caliber candidate. He was practically getting shitted on by all pundits, including everybody in the media. Now everybody is deep throating the shit out of this dude and acting like he's the second coming of Michael Vick, which which at this very moment he is looking like a better version of Michael Vick earlier on in his career. He's looking much better from a mental standpoint, preparation, carrying this football team and actually beating teams that he needs to be considered an MVP caliber quarterback. You guys give me a second because I got too much noise in the background. Give me just a second. I got something I have to correct real quick. Sorry about that. Yeah, I had to go ahead and I had to go correct some things because they know I'm doing this damn video. But shout out to everybody if I didn't shout you out. I'm gonna get to that, but I want to kind of go over, the overview of this game, man. And back to what I was saying about Lamar Jackson. He's increased his level of play. He's been much more accurate. I mean, I want to say he was within the 50 percentile throwing or right along the lines of throwing for 60% last year, and now he's throwing at 65% this year on average. Through the first 11 games, well, the first 10 games, and his touchdown ratio I believe is like 15 to 5 right now, and he's ran well over 700 yards, but he has far more carries. I want to say it's on like 100 or so carries. Deshaun Watson, he has 5 touchdowns. He has like 300 yards. Half of less than three times less the yards that Lamar Jackson has on the ground. But he's edging them out in passing yards and completion percentage. Not only that, he's a great third down. They're both great on third down. Deshaun Watson is better in the red zone than Lamar Jackson, and I will give the edge to Lamar Jackson when it comes to the coaching staff and special teams. Justin Tucker's the best kicker in the game. John Harbaugh is already a Super Bowl winning coach, and he has his team ready to play even in their down years. They still play hard, and the Houston Texans are showing and proving that some of the draft picks and some of the guys that we picked up in free agency and some of the moves that we've made throughout the season is actually boding well for the it's been better than expected. Titus Howard, he's been great at right tackle. Can't take anything away from him. When we've needed when we've needed guys like Charles Omenihu to step up, he's played well along with Zach Cunningham. Bradley Roby has played well over the last month or so, but him being injured, you got to kind of take away, and we have to temper the way that we view him because he's played a couple of good games. It's really only been a couple of good games that this secondary has put together and shown what they can do against some of these quarterbacks. Now, I know going into this game, the public for the most part is riding with the Baltimore Ravens. And we're going to go with the reasons that the Baltimore Ravens could very well win this game, and then we'll get into the reasons why the Houston Texans can win this game. The Baltimore Ravens can win this game simply off of a lack of discipline. A lack of discipline from the defense, a lot of penalties, and guys not tackling appropriately. I think if guys lose, their discipline, and if anything breaks down, it can be a long day if these guys are jumping in and out of their gas. And communication is going to have to be at an all-time high. If you don't communicate, and if dudes do not know what their assignments are, it is no way that we can get through this game, not only with a win, But I'm not so sure that we could even come out of this game healthy enough to go into the game, the Thursday night game that we have the following week. One of the biggest factors to me, and I called on the sauce when Honcho was on the other night, and one of the major keys that they definitely have over us is Justin Tucker. Justin Tucker is the ace in the hole if the game gets tight. I do not want a situation where Justin Tucker and Lamar Jackson can potentially be the last ones on the field. We don't need that, because I don't see Justin Tucker pooching the kick. And, and the fact that he's in Baltimore, he's going to have the crowd on his side, and it's not going to be a pressure kick whatsoever. The only way he misses a kick if it's 62 yards plus. If it's within 60 yards, I could see this man very well being clutch enough to hit a 60-yard field goal to ice the game against the Houston Texans. Deshaun Watson has to be the last quarterback on the field. If he's not, it's going to be a doozy. One of the things that they can very do well is run the ball with Lamar Jackson. I think, depending on the health and depending on the practice time and the level of communication that the linebackers and the back end for the Houston Texans end up having, because I believe the Houston Texans are going to be able to stop Mark Ingram in the run game. Now, if they stop him, I expect to see a lot more runs with Lamar Jackson. I don't really see him attacking the secondary, because we're bringing everybody back, from injury. So everybody who has been missing over the last 4 to 5 games, we get to get back in this game, and it's just in due time, because the only person that's still up in the air at this point in time is Will Fuller. If we get Will Fuller to come play on this game, it's going to be a long day for the Baltimore Ravens. But if we gap control, and not only that, we're going to end up having to have somebody, we're going to have 2 to 3 spies, and I think we're going to end up having to have a secondary player. So if it's going to cause us to run more dime, more sub packages, and have a corner blitzing and rushing 4 on the line, and always having somebody as a spy, so that we don't lose any containment, it's going to have to be done against the Baltimore Ravens. It's going to have to be done, because if we don't, a guy like Mark Andrews, a guy like Hayden Hurst, and a guy like if he's able to run out of the pocket, hey, Lamar Jackson can get it done down the field. If he's not going to break for a big run, he can throw the ball. People acting like he just can't throw the ball as well as Deshaun Watson, but the man can very well throw the ball. He has over 2,000 yards, 15 touchdowns, and 5 chains with his legs. Hey, that's just something we're going to have to be on the lookout for. Now, we're going to go ahead and we're going to get into the reason that the Houston Texans can win. Now, I believe the Houston Texans can very well win this game from simply having Deshaun Watson and more weapons on offense. I think if we end up turning this game into a shootout, and if Deshaun Watson is the last one with the ball in his hands, I think he can very well show you why he's been special, and he can defeat all of these quarterbacks when they said that he couldn't beat Patrick Mahomes, and he's going to step up more to the challenge. And we've played much better on the road than people have given us credit for through this year. We only had one road loss, and that was against New Orleans in Week 1, and we all know the reason why that game didn't pan out the right way. As long as we don't have any coaching errors, as long as we don't have any offensive line woes, where we having multiple penalties, where we having guys down the field, then this is going to probably have to be one of the most sound games that Laremy Tunsil is going to have to play. I think he's probably the most penalized person that we have on our line as it stands right now, and we can't have that in this game. We cannot have that. They're going to have to play the best game that they've played thus far. And shout out to everybody in the chat. I'm going to get to y'all shout outs and everything. I just wanted to be able to run through my points before I get into any major shout outs. But we're going to need Carlos Hyde, Duke Johnson to really step up. If we get into any trouble against the front seven or against the linebackers in this game, we have to dump the ball down and allow guys in space, go underneath. You don't have to go down the field all game. And I think what Deshaun Watson is going to more than likely end up making his money is taking advantage of these linebackers. Besides Marlon Humphrey, we've seen what Marcus Peters does against DeAndre Hopkins. We're not going to act like DeAndre Hopkins hasn't had 6 touchdowns against this man since he's came in the league in 2015. Like, every time DeAndre Hopkins sees Marcus Peters, it's a human highlight reel. He always gets like 2+ touchdowns on Marcus Peters for some reason. So I know Ravens fans are feeling real good about Marcus Peters and acting like that. Trust me, y'all haven't checked the history and y'all have no idea how Marcus Peters has been abused by DeAndre Hopkins. He does not want to jump in the air with DeAndre Hopkins. Not only is he going to have that problem, but who are you guys really going to get to take Darren Fields, Jordan Akins, and if Jordan Thomas ends up making his presence known in this football game and we end up playing heavier sets, 3 tight end sets, who's going to stop Jordan Thomas? 6'7", 260. I don't see how anybody's going to be able to contend with that in the red zone. I really don't. I don't see how that's going to end up happening. But one of the things that they definitely have to do, they definitely have to play ball control football. This has to be a similar game plan to what we did against the Kansas City Chiefs. This cannot be a game where you're going tit for tat and this and that. You cannot do that. You cannot be going tit for tat. You cannot be going back and forth with the Baltimore Ravens. You have to go down and show these guys early on that this is the Houston Texans ball game, and if it's a situation where we end up having to defer and we end up scoring a touchdown or we get any type of points before the half and we come out, for some reason the second half has always been the Texans' greatest, adjustment period. It's every game this year. They always make the best adjustments in the second half, and that's one thing that nobody is crediting the Houston Texans for. Second half adjustments. We own that. We're not talking about the Colts. We'll talk about that when we cross that bridge next week. But we're talking about the Baltimore Ravens right now. But we appreciate you being in the stream. Deshaun Watson, he's going to have to be excellent. But I expect nothing less. And one of the major reasons why I think Deshaun Watson is going to be able to slip out because they don't have an athletic front the way that the Jacksonville Jaguars had. They don't have an athletic front like the Los Angeles Chargers. They don't have a front, these type of fronts. We played some of the best fronts throughout this entire season. They don't have the front that the Panthers have right now. I'm not shitting on Baltimore's front. They do have a decent front, but they're more prone to stop the run than they are to pass. And they're not athletic enough to be able to keep up with Deshaun Watson. If they don't get a hat on this dude and if they don't get him stopped behind the line of scrimmage and he's able to weasel in and out and make something of the play, and as long as the referees are not calling this man down, expect Deshaun Watson to have a premier day and show you who's the best quarterback in Baltimore Sunday afternoon. I'm pretty sure this is going to be a nationally televised game. Everybody's going to be watching to see who pulls this game out. And I think, the fact that we've already played against Earl Thomas when he was on the LOB, which is a much better secondary than the Baltimore Ravens have right now, which is still not a secondary that you can just snooze at because it's still a very good coach, a well-rounded football team. So we're going to give you some respect. But Deshaun Watson has faced much better defenses throughout this season, and I see no reason why he doesn't continue to show why he's the real MVP of this race. I understand Lamar Jackson is doing some great things with his legs, but so was Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson behind the line of scrimmage and how he's able to get in and out when he's slipping guys like Josh Allen, Calais Campbell, Joey Bosa, Melvin Ingram. I can go on and on with the guys that he slipped sacks throughout this entire season on a week-in, week-out basis. Frank Clark. I see no reason why a guy like Brandon Williams, any of these guys that they have on the front, and already D-Love, I appreciate you coming through. Make sure you share this video, bro. I see no reason why Deshaun Watson is not going to be able to continue to show that he's the real Houdini. So he has the better arm talent, and I think if the Baltimore Ravens end up falling behind and if we end up dictating the pace of this football game, I don't see how Lamar Jackson is going to be able to come back and win this football game. He has not shown the ability to play from behind. Deshaun Watson has. Deshaun Watson has been able to go in back and forth games and been able to pull out wins against some good football teams this year. The Baltimore Ravens have beat some very good football teams, which happen to be, the Seattle Seahawks and the New England Patriots. They lost to the Kansas City Chiefs. Why he has a problem against the Kansas City Chiefs, especially with their abysmal defense, is concerning to me. If they can game plan, I'm pretty sure we can pretty much show them a different game plan, and we can very well stop what they're doing, especially when it comes to the passing game. As long as we lock down, as long as we stop the run, we have to make this game one-dimensional. I understand we're going to be able to make it totally one-dimensional, and nobody has figured out Lamar Jackson, and he's the real problem when it comes to the running game. Mark Ingram, I'm not worried about him whatsoever. We've shut down Fournette twice, held him to his 2-season lows all season, and he's a top 5 running back this year. Alvin Kamara, Christian McCaffrey weren't able to put up 100 yards. They were only able to kill us. They were able to get some good runs, keep the defense on the field, and make sure that they were able once they were able to get the ball passed to them, they made stuff happen at the second level. And the Houston Texans were a totally different football team at the first quarter of the season than they are now. Now, I'm not saying we have the greatest secondary in the league, because we don't. We still have some questions, but now that we have Garyon Conley, now that we have Roby, now that we have Lonnie Johnson back, now that we have Tayshaun Gibson back, and now that we've ended up making the move to get Vernon Hargraves, I see no reason why man coverage man coverage is going to be all over the field. We won't have to run that much zone, and if we have to run man, it's going to suit the needs of these football players in the secondary. Everybody in the end is just going to make sure they have to communicate, make sure guys are lined up, they play disciplined football up front, stop the run. We're going to see what Lamar Jackson is when it comes to passing, and can he win with his arm against Deshaun Watson and his defense. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take some questions before I end up closing out this video. And I'm going to see what some of you guys were saying. But before I do, I'm going to give some shout-outs to everybody that's in the stream who I didn't get to shout out. Shout out to Michael Soberon. Shout out to All the Dialogue, Cayman Jones, Eastside Herald, Joseph Lopez, Gilbert Rodriguez, Down South Sports, Joshua Grant, Corey Jackson, Jesus, Darren, Diesel, Seth. Who else we got in here? Let me see who else we got in here. D. Pritch, Eric Villa, Big Possum, Black Vegeta, Adrian. Who else we got in here? Footballer 503, Aurelius Overseer, OG Dedrick, I see you. And El Lobo, I see you. D-Lo, what's good? J-Pack, what's good? Oh, man, let Noah talk his shit, man. It's all good. Leo Garcia, what's good? Brownsville, Texas, I see you. Country Boy Real One, what's good? We just discussing, man, this matchup. As far as what you guys are seeing, man, you guys inform me and y'all tell me what y'all think we need to do to win this game. Because I honestly believe this ball needs to come to ball control and keeping Kaimi Fairbairn off of the field in critical situations. This cannot be the game. This cannot be the game where Kaimi Fairbairn is missing PATs and missing easy chip shot field goals. This cannot be that game. Bro Lee, what's good? And pass rush, what you mean? Do you mean the Baltimore Ravens being the pass rush? And Vernon Hargraves, I don't think we can really judge him. I don't think we can really judge him considering off the fact of what they have built in the secondary in Tampa. I think we could say the same thing for Conley, and Conley has shown in 2 back-to-back games what he's been able to do in man coverage, and the man has been able to make some plays. So we're going to have to just judge him once we see him in a Romeo Crennel scheme. I'm not even sure if Vernon Hargraves is going to play because I don't think it's enough time, honestly. Jaja Era, Bro Lee, James Harden, Godson, what's good? Broderick, I see you. Juan Rosales, what's good? Less linebackers. Eric Griffin, what's good? Ravens interior D-line and linebackers are lacking at the moment from what I heard. No, I know they are. And that's a Jared Jackson. A lot of y'all eat a lot of crow if we win this one. Who is y'all? I don't know exactly who you're talking about. Yeah, we do have to score early. I think this is a drive where Deshaun Watson, this is one of those games where Deshaun Watson gets hot early. If we don't see him score, or if he doesn't get in field goal range within his first possession or so, I see within the first 2 to 3 possessions, Deshaun Watson putting a touchdown on the board. I think that, and as I'm saying, I think if he gets in trouble, we are going to have to, bro. We are going to have to fucking and what exactly are we eating crow on? I mean, because every last one of us called 10-6 before the season. I don't know exactly what you're talking about, Jared. We haven't historically, we've never beat Baltimore in Baltimore, so this is the game we're gonna have to show and prove. And trust me, we don't care about eating crow. You don't even have to ask us. We take care of our business. There ain't nobody gotta ask us for it. Jacob would be, man. You know what? That's not a bad idea. Oh, no. It's all good, football 503. And I'm not sure if he's playing Osmond. And shout out to Osmond Gallo, man. I never seen you before. Welcome to the stream. And Juan Rosales, I never seen you in the stream either. Welcome to the stream. Man, it's that boy, the thrower, spits in the game. Hey, happy belated birthday. If y'all didn't wish Spitz a happy birthday, his birthday just happened a few days ago. Wish that man a happy birthday, man. And I know you got a game preview that you're going to end up having to put out for us too, man. We need to hear what you're talking about. And matter of fact, get in with me tonight, Spitz, on the sauce. Do the sauce with me tonight. Do they though? What's good? Yeah, you late, but it's all good, bro. Hey, you ain't never late. You always on time, bro. Don't even worry about it. Daryl Ross, Texans offensive line will be the reason why they win. Are you saying who's going to win? Specify who you're talking about. And welcome to the stream, because I never seen you before. Alejandro Mendez, man, I appreciate that, bro. I appreciate that. Trust me, it's easy to do, bro. I'm probably gonna end up doing another video about just the MVP race and what we see with that, because I didn't get to do that video. But do y'all see Vernon Hargreaves making any impact, and do y'all even see him being inserted in the lineup since we picked him up on short notice? We just picked him up yesterday. I don't see any reason why he would play, but then again, we did get Garyon Conley on short notice, and he ended up playing the following week against the Raiders, and we pulled the game out. So he very well could play. Thanks, homie. I was laughing so hard when you were shot when we drafted home. I was mad too, bro. I mean, I was mad, but Titus Howard, man. Titus Howard is earning his due, man. I can't say nothing bad about at this point. He only gave up 1 sack. The man is mauling the shit out of these dudes. We always said he was good in run blocking. So y'all can refer back to our videos. You don't have to believe what I'm saying right now. When you go back to our videos, we said that the man had decent footwork. He worked on his holding, because he was holding the hell out of dudes during his draft profile. And when you look at a lot of his other videos of the tape that he had, and against elite pass rushers, the man was not putting in work like that. And Aurelius, media, man. I mean, it's well deserved, Aurelius. You gotta understand, Lamar Jackson is putting in work, and he beating some teams that we haven't beat yet. I mean, yeah, we beat a team that he can't beat within the Chiefs, so that's a heads up that we have over him. If we beat the Ravens and we beat the Chiefs, and then it looks like T.Y. Hilton or Brissett is going to end up playing in this very next game, and because they got a lot of injuries. But when they faced us the first time, we had a lot of injuries, but that's regardless of the fact. They still have to play. 5100, bro, I already know this. Debo, what's good? What's good? Joseph Lopez, what's good? Hargreaves is in need of serious coaching. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was, but he has some more veteran guys that he can learn from on this team than he could playing for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That's why I'm saying you can't really judge Vernon Hargreaves on how he was playing with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, because what secondary have they built? They have a decent front. They have a great front seven, but they don't have I'm Clarence, whoever that is. Trust me, you're not Clarence. I know who Clarence is, and you ain't him. And that's cool. Nah, Brissett ain't better, but that's cool too. Lamar Jackson better than Watson. That's how you feel? Wait, ain't nobody taking. Yeah, they don't have no secondary, so that's why I'm saying you can't really judge, and you couldn't judge Garyon Conley the same way. Even though I feel like what he had put on tape for the last couple of years from when they drafted him, he hadn't played it up to a first round draft stock. So that's why, and Nardwuar, and y'all don't even have, I don't even know why y'all paying Nardwuar any attention, bro. Like, y'all don't even have to pay that dude no attention. He in all our streams. He's saying the exact same shit that he been saying in every stream. Let that man troll, because at the end of the day, when we see the Colts next week, we're going to have to take care of that business. And he just a troll, bro. That's his existence. Y'all, he's doo-doo, fecal matter. You know what I'm saying? So don't even worry about it. He on everybody's shit trolling. Y'all think this is the first place he been trolled? Trust me, he been trolling all over the place. But enough of him. What else do y'all see? Because somebody did bring up the Jacob Martin spine, and I think that would suit him very well with some of the speed that he has. I think he would be able to funnel Lamar Jackson back inside, but they're gonna end up having to bring dual edge pressure. This is a game where we're gonna have to bring 5-6 man pressures at times. You're gonna have to drop 5, and you're gonna have to rush 6. I'm not sure what the numbers are with Lamar Jackson in terms of how he deals with pressure, but I already know what the numbers are for Deshaun Watson, and he deals with pressure just fine. Been doing it for quite some time now, and he's battle tested with a bad O-line, and the O-line has been way better as it stands right now. So, and Hollywood might miss the game. Bro, if they don't have Hollywood Brown, then this game gonna be, I ain't gonna say it's gonna be easy. I'm not gonna say that. I'm just gonna say the game looks like it would be more in our favor, but crazier things have happened when it comes to the Houston Texans. So I'm not even gonna get that excited. Just because they have an injury, trust me, great coaches find a way to bring somebody out of their shell, and they end up performing against the Houston Texans. That's kind of been our history, but hopefully that won't be the case, and we end up getting our first win in Baltimore this Sunday at 1 o'clock. Now Snead can go up and go grab that thing. I mean, Snead ain't no bum. I mean, he's not a top 20 guy in the league. Maybe a top 40, maybe 50 guy in the league, but he ain't no slouch. He can go up, but I think he's gonna be heavily relying upon the tight ends anyway. I think if he can't dump the ball down to guys, because they do have Justice Hill, right? Don't the Ravens have Justice Hill? Because that's what they're more than likely gonna end up having to do. They're gonna have to dump the ball. They're gonna have to run a lot of screens. They're gonna have to find some design runs, and they're gonna have to. Baltimore's gonna have to stick with the run game as long as they can and try to pound it and try to find some crease, even though it's not gonna end up working against the Houston Texans, because we haven't allowed a 100-yard rusher in 2 seasons. Nobody gets off on us like that. So, and the running game in terms of run defense has not really dropped off, even with Jadeveon Clowney, even though he would add a hell of a lot more domination, because if we still had Jadeveon Clowney, this would probably be the number 1 run defense in the league. Give me a second. Just yeah, I hope he can't hold down Mark Andrews. But Mark Andrews is not going to be the only problem. Hayden Hurst is a problem too. So I see them running a lot of heavier sets against us. I think they're going to do everything we can, and we're going to have to find some kind of pass rush. We're going to end up having to blitz a hell of a lot more than we have in the past, because that's what's going to have to happen. And we are going to need 2 spies. You're going to need a guy you're going to need somebody rushing. They're going to have to get really elaborate with the way that they're going to end up I think they're going to have to man blitz. You're going to probably be able to do some zone blitz. Yeah, Boyle. Yeah, he's nice too. And shout out to Texas Trio 713. Also got to ask Addy about the campaign the Chargers use versus yeah, I'm pretty sure he has. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they watched that game, and I'm pretty sure they watched the Steelers game, and I'm pretty sure they watched the Browns game. It's 3 games that you can really take. Hell, probably even the Chiefs game. It's 4 games you can really refer to over the last couple of years, especially it's in the 2 losses that they have this year. Those are a couple of games that you could definitely refer to. So who knows what this game ends up doing for the Houston Texans, and this puts us in a different light. Just like the Chiefs game put us in a different light in terms of the teams that we can beat, and we beat the Chiefs when, trust me, the Chiefs was on a whole nother level when we beat them. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying that we're going to beat the Ravens, but it's a 50-50 chance. You can't really really tip this game in really any other way. This can't be a 41, a 49-51 type of situation. It can't even really be that. This is an even split down the middle because both teams have deficiencies. I will say that they have a little better secondary than we do as it stands right now in terms of getting turnovers. But this secondary is healthy now. It's stepping back up. They came right back on the field. They well rested, and they're going to be able to get on the field and show what they can do against the weapons for Lamar Jackson. That's what it's going to take. It's going to take these dudes playing sound football. Tackling is going to be extremely critical. You have to wrap up. This is not the game where you're trying to draw dudes, where you're trying to lead dudes with your shoulders. Wrap up, secure the tackle, go on the next down, and wrapping up, you just might end up getting some fumbles. Who knows? Whitney Merciless is going to have to step his game up this game. He's been silent for the last month or so. We need a great game out of Whitney Merciless. They're going to have to find some ways to probably rush him over the guards the way that they were doing a couple years ago over the centers. This is a very good O-line that we're going to end up playing against, so we're going to have to end up getting some pressure because if you got Lamar Jackson just sitting in the background, it ain't no telling what's going to happen. We're going to all see together. Ravens fans don't know what he's going to do. Texans fans don't know what he's going to do. Curry Road, Get Money Game. What's good? What excess will the media make if Watson dominates? Bro, it's not going to be any excuses. It's just going to be a game won by Deshaun. I think they're still going to talk more about Lamar Jackson, and that's cool. What you got to understand as Texans fans, you got to be kind of superstitious as far as this goes right now. What's good, Kenneth? We have to take into consideration the national media not talking about the Houston Texans is a good thing. That is never a bad thing. Those are the games we end up winning. Every time they start talking about the Houston Texans in the national media, that's what you got the sauce for. Why are y'all caring about the national media anyway? What's good, Braylon? It's been a minute, bro. Where you been at? That's why I'm not really worried. Y'all were too worried about the national media. I know y'all want to see people talk about the Texans. I know y'all want to see somebody at least giving the team some respect. But you got to temper and you got to watch how much respect that is given to the Texans. And at the end of the day, the Houston Texans have to earn their respect. Nobody's going to give them shit. We shouldn't give it to them if they're not earning it. And that's why we talk about the Texans the way that we talk about the Texans on the sauce. We are not no ass kissers. We are not A.O. Noah and all these other dudes who just want views and is willing to, to do and be some happy-go-lucky ass niggas with no real perspective of football. This is not the channel for that. If you want that happy-go-lucky shit, then hey, I'm not for you. I understand you can look at me when I'm getting crunk and when I'm doing this, I'm doing that. You can come back on the videos, but you never know when you're going to get that. But I'm going to tell you one thing. Y'all thought I was crunk on the Chiefs video that we did on the sauce. Y'all think I was crunk on the Jacksonville video that I did about a week or so ago when the London game was over. Y'all thought I was crunk for that game? Bro, watch how motherfucking crunk I'm going to be when this Baltimore Ravens game is over. That's all I'm going to say, bro. Trill, what's good? Hey, bro, I'm going to call you when this video is over. I'm going to hit you up on IG, on the IG video, and we're going to chop it up because I've been meaning to chop it up with you. But as it stands right now, those are a lot of my reasons why I think the Houston Texans could win and why the Baltimore Ravens could end up winning this football team. We're going to end up telling the truth about this team, whether it hurts or not. If you don't like medicine, hey, guess what? You're going to always be sick. We're gonna kill you. We're gonna kill whatever problem you got, whatever ideologies you got, because you got to be able to open your mind up a little bit more. But y'all look forward to this pregame and this postgame tonight. I think me and Spitz will more than likely be on the sauce. So y'all make sure y'all check that out. I'm gonna be with my boys. Y'all make sure y'all come through the chat. If y'all not, if y'all looking for me on Twitter, if y'all want to follow me on Twitter, follow me at Third Coast Sports TV. I'm always available. I'm always going to retweet. I'm always going to be engaged with everybody. If y'all want to shoot me a DM, let me know who you are on YouTube before I accept you. That's no problem. Just let me know who you are. And we finna go ahead and bring this video to a close. Trill, I'm finna get at you in just a minute. But welcome Third Coast Sports TV. Talk sports, love sports, enjoy sports. Y'all have a great day. And we finna get ready to beat the fuck out of the Ravens when they come on Sunday.